is this getting towards the end of the road for Travis Kelce? How much time does he have left? Because he was an absolute non-factor, and almost all year was a non-factor. He's had a unbelievable all-time great career.
I think if you're Travis,
He can still play.
I think if you're Travis, I think that you should take the conversation very seriously this offseason.
Yeah.
And I think you should sit down. You know, usually in most cases you say, well, sit down with your wife and your kids.
Yeah.
He doesn't have either of those.
Yeah.
He has a significant other in Taylor. But I think if you're Travis, you sit down with your family that you do have and you say, this is where I'm at. And you try to really think deeply about that and see where you're at. Now, I think for his mental health, I don't think it's good to go out as a Super Bowl loser.
Yeah.
And he should probably at least tough it out for one more.
I think
I think so too.
I think he should, if you think about it where he's at and you look at his brother who stopped and then they won it the next year.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come back, but he is not the same. Now, maybe he'll surprise everybody. Maybe we find out stuff that we don't know about, that he was injured more than what people say, but he was not the same receiver or tight end this year that he was in previous years.
Technically, this is his 12th season. His next would be 13.
Yep.
Which Jason Kelce played 13.
Okay, Father Time does that to you.
What I said before this game was I think no matter what happens, I felt that Travis was going to try to win one more ring, whether he wins today or not today. But I think this was an eye-opening game. And that might change how I feel about that. And I do think that he's going to stick it out for next year. He might keep going after that, but I think it's really based on, I think next year he's really going to be watching himself closely. Where am I at? Do I not have it anymore? Or do I have a couple more years left in me? And I think if next year they go back to the Super Bowl, then I think he'll stay a couple more years. But if he's struggling next year, that might be it for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you have back-to-back years where you're not who you used to be, it's hard. I heard Charles Barkley say, they asked him, when did you know? And he goes, when somebody that has no business playing against me blows by me and I can't do anything, I knew it's time.
This is what's difficult,
I'm not saying
too.
he's there yet, but he is.
Well, I think he will try to win again.
But when you are the
But if he
best,
can't, I think he will step out.
but when you're the best by a long margin, and you are not even top 5, 6, 7 tight ends,
Yeah.
you start to go, okay, and now the next year you're the same thing. So that'll be a huge loss for Mahomes because
He
he's been a
looked so
security.
defeated this game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just say this, though. For Travis Kelce to play as long as he has, at the elite level he has,
it's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. And this is where people will get it kind of messed up. And some of you guys at home are not going to love this, that I'm going to say this. Travis Kelce was never an elite athlete.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He was never an elite athlete. He actually was just so superior in his mental game that he was one of the greatest tight ends, if not the greatest tight end of all time. Now, I'm only saying the greatest because a lot of his tight end brothers call him the greatest tight end of all time. I don't personally feel that way, but when your own people recognize you as that, then that's a big deal. So let me say this. I don't think he was ever an elite elite athlete. Look at Rob Gronkowski. That guy was a full-on freak of nature, specimen.
Yeah.
Look at Tony Gonzalez. The guy was Travis Kelce's size, but he could jump out of a roof.
And a basketball star at Cal. I watched him play.
Yep. Antonio Gates, freak of athlete. Okay. Shannon Sharp, freak athlete.
Yep.
Now, let me say, so like Tony Gonzalez, people say, well, the only way Travis could catch up with Tony Gonzalez if he played another 5 more seasons. Well, yeah, because Tony Gonzalez played 17 seasons. But when you're a freak athlete, it's easier to extend your career because you get smarter as you play.
Right.
And you're already a freak, so being a little less of a freak isn't as impactful. Now you have someone like Travis who is so smart.
Yeah.
So smart.
Yep.
But at this point, he wasn't already an elite athlete, and now he's a little bit less, right?
Yeah.
it's going to be harder and harder for him to do things that he did before.
Yeah.
Not
yeah,
that he can't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying Travis Kelce would not be able to play at a high level for 5 more seasons.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No. I mean, Father Time does it. And not just, he hasn't just played, what'd you say, 12 season, 11 seasons?
This is 12th season.
Okay, so he's played deep into the playoffs in those years too.
Correct. Yes.
And so that's a whole nother season.
Yeah, because they were in the deep in the playoffs before Patrick.
Yeah, so it's a long road. He's done a phenomenal job. I'm not saying he should retire. That's going to be his decision. I don't think he will. I think he'll come back, but he was not the same. He was not a factor in this game at all. He had 0 yards in the first half. Now Patrick Mahomes threw for almost 0 yards in the first half.
No.
But and he was frustrated. Now it wasn't the same. So it'll be interesting. It'll also be interesting to see how long Andy Reid goes. Hey, thanks for watching the clip. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button. It helps us get out our content and you'll get everything new that comes out with us. Thanks again.